Please excuse the technical difficulties. Well, now we are ready, right? We are ready to start.
We're ready.
All right, perfect. So,
Or not.
Let me click on here. Now, there you go.
there you go. Yes. Welcome to the first show of Pay That Price. Yes, it's a show where we're going to test your market knowledge because as realtors, you guys should know the prices of the home that you're selling, right? Makes sense, doesn't it? All right, perfect. So, I am your host, Cameron Glory, your team leader, along with my lovely co-host, Amy Smith. So, Amy, tell us who are going to be our first contestants of our show today.
All right. Let's find out.
All right, so get your tickets ready.
Okay. All right. We've got 811-4416. Oh my God.
Oh!
Stop me. I don't want to.
Oh, Tina, come on down! Yes, come on down, Tina. All right, Tina, so tell us who you are, where you're from, and something unique about you that no one knows.
Oh, okay. My name is Tina Wang. I live in Chino, and something about me, something unique about me.
So many things unique about you, just can't name one, huh?
I used to do interior design.
Okay, awesome. So that definitely works in your real estate field for sure.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, welcome. So make sure you sit right there in that nice red chair. All right, perfect. Who's our second contestant?
All right, our second contestant, 811-4418.
That's me.
Now it's you. All right, come on down. All right. So tell us who you are, where you're from, something you about you.
My name is Adriana. I live in Ontario, and I grew up in the Central Valley in the country. We live on 8 acres, so I'm country girl from city girl.
Oh, I love that. Awesome.
Yes.
Great. All right, we'll take a seat here. All right. So the next part of the show, we're going to show the problem that we're going to be discussing next. All right, so this beautiful home here was built in 1991. It is located in the Sonora Springs Butterfield Ranch community. This home features 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 1 half bath. It's about 1,666 square feet, and it was sold last month of 2022. So I'm gonna go with you, Tina. The closest one that gets the price wins. So Tina, how much is this home win for?
What's the square footage?
It is 1,666 square feet
Chino Hills, right?
in Chino Hills.
Did you say the address?
No, I didn't say the address. Let me just Google that real quick. It is 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, and 1 half bath, so 2.5.
Okay, all right. I would say like around 850.
Okay, so 850. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. All right, so again, built 1991, 1,666 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story. It sold last month, so September. Actually, no, it actually sold this month of October 2022. So this month.
I would say 800.
800. Okay. All right. So I want to give you guys an opportunity. How much do you guys? I'm going to give. You want to be well as a group, right?
What's the?
It's 1,666 square feet. It's sold this month of October, right? So just guys, I want to hear you guys. I want to hear random numbers. 675.
775.
775. Okay. Okay. What else? One more.
$801.
That's a real natural price rate.
920. Okay.
I'll say 880.
Okay. 880. Okay.
I want to say 920.
How about 850?
Wow.
867.
Oh, okay. All right. So the retail price of this property comes to $702,000.
Whoa.
702,000?
Yes. You gotta remember though, right? This is October now.
Yeah.
3 months ago, totally would have sold in the 800s, absolutely. But we have seen a reduction in sales prices. This is
What did it
why
start at? Do you know that?
it started at I think it started like 715 for this one. Yeah, but you gotta remember though, right? The market has changed dramatically, and that's why it's important as real estate professionals for us to keep updated on the market, right? Yeah, so based off of that, it looks like the closest was Adri for 800,000.
The average
Yes,
seller,
yes, yes. Yes, so we will be getting your gift momentarily. So again, this is another reason why to stay updated what's going on in the market.
Yeah.
Right? Especially if you're talking to your sellers, and you're telling your sellers that he ate 867 for a house like this, you have a house that he sold, for 702. So definitely keep aware of what's going on in the market, check on the market on a regular basis. So, all right, perfect. Thank you guys for being our first contestants on Name That Price. All right, all right. All right, our MVPP, to build careers worth having, business worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. To be a real estate company of choice for their agents and their customers. God, family, then business. Win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first, commitment in all things, communication, seek first to understand, creativity, ideas before results, teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty, equity, opportunities for all, success results through people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so our first winner of our game show here. Here you go. Yes, enjoy the milk, be a change. There you go. If you need someone to go with you, I love be a change. My favorite is orange chicken, so just let me know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And we're doing this for all of our stakeholders meetings, so make sure you guys show on time so you guys can be the next contestants on Name That Price. Thanks. So Keller Williams, a technology company that provides a real estate platform that our agents, buyers, and sellers prefer. Keller Williams thinks like a top producer, acts like a trained consultant, and focuses all its own activities on services, productivity, and profitability. All right, October newcomers, we have Kirsty, we have David, we have Justin, we have Letitia, and we have Dr. Sung Lee. I like to call him Dr. Lee, so that's why his name's up there. Okay. I mean, if you went to school, a long time, and you got your doctorate, and you're a doctor, I'm gonna call you doctor. So that's why his name is Dr. Sung Lee up there. So.
All right.
Yes. Oh, happy birthday to Amy. Yes, thank you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Amy. Happy birthday to you. Yes. Yes. So get some cupcakes after. I heard they're sugar-free and guilt-free. So, make sure you have a cupcake there. Yes, of course, absolutely. So bucket fills. Who wants to fill someone's bucket today?
I want to fill Rashawn's bucket.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did the business expo this weekend and Rashawn worked her booty off. We passed out 150 business cards. And she was there the entire time, helped me turn on, really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, showed up in her KW gear and was like on it, I mean, she's really doing great. And then she and her cousin who works for another KW, they partnered up and went door knocking. And she's just really diving in and doing what she needs to do to make the business happen. So I'm just proud of you and happy for you.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. I love that. Yes. Who else wants to fill someone's bucket?
I'll fill a bucket.
All right, sir.
I see Carmen in here. I just want to say thank you for your help with getting me my checks while Shelly's on disability with her shoulder. I'm like, how do I do a green sheet? I don't think I've ever done that. So thank you for your patience and helping us. Shelly has one arm right now. So anyway, thank you.
Yeah, I love that. Yes. All right, perfect. Anyone else wants to fill someone's bucket before we move on?
I'll fill a bucket.
All right, Tina.
So recently I've been coming to the coaching program with Coach Q, and then from him I feel like I really learned a lot, and I'm very happy to be here all the time when we have the coaching program. When we started, I was like really scared and nervous because role play for me is like
it's something that's kind of nervous, but then now I don't feel nervous anymore, and I'm always looking forward.
It's awesome.
I love that.
I'm really happy working with here. It's so nice to have you here in the office. The energy has changed. I mean, everything about this office has changed since Akira joined the office. When you come to my office in the morning and start talking to me about whatever, it's not always about work, it just gives me this comfort. It's not about anything, but just talking to him gives me comfort, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, thank you.
I agree.
Oh. Thank you, appreciate it. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, awesome, thanks. Yes, well, you guys are all a pleasure to work with. I'm very grateful and privileged to be your team leader, and we're just starting. This is just the beginning stages. I'm definitely gonna start doing more scripts and role play. So starting next month, we're gonna start doing role play Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays. And then I want to get to eventually doing them 5 days a week because I see the value that it brings. I see you guys breaking out of your shells. I see you guys getting opportunities. It works. So I'm definitely going to commit to doing more of those. So thank you guys again. Again, this is just the beginning. I'm super excited what's gonna be happening towards the end of the year and to 2023. It's gonna be an amazing time. And I'm here to help each and every one of you guys thrive in this current market shift they're experiencing. I want you guys to look at this as opportunity, because when you hear the news and everything talking about negative things, people are still out there buying, people are still out there selling, people are still out there investing in real estate. It's just a matter of us providing that value and find those people that are motivated. And I'm committed to helping each and one of you guys do that. So thank you.
Awesome.
All right, perfect. So pitch your listings. All right, who has a listing they want to pitch? You know, maybe talk to a seller that's interested in selling. Right, I'm sure you guys have. It's part of our job. Sarah.
I've got one coming up in Laverne. There, it's one of our heritage homes. We love old homes. So it's a 1920 Spanish style 3-bed, 2-bath, updated bathroom, kitchen. They've kept a lot of it with the Spanish like motif and decor, and has a back unit that could be used as an ADU if you put a kitchenette in it. They have rented it to college students, but you have to keep that off record, obviously, because it's not really, but it backs up to Laverne University, and I think we're gonna be going on at 875 at Piazza Bonita.
Okay.
One of the cops was down the street, they just went in, I think, over like 825, so. And then we also have a pocket listing in Mockingbird Canyon, 1.5 mil, 2020 KB home, beautiful. He's put in a brand new pool, it's like a resort, so. Let us know if you want some info on that.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, for sure. And what I want to start doing,
Oh, okay.
I want to start sending out our listings to our agents. Like when we have new listings, send them out to everyone. Because yes, we do post them on Facebook, but it would be great for us to have like a list. Maybe if we do like once a week or something, like listings, you know what I mean? Because I want all of us to know what's going on with our agents, what's going on with our office, what's going on with our listings. Because wouldn't it be great if you found another KW Vision agent that could buy your listing, right? Yeah, so I definitely want to do more of that. So great. Anyone else has any other listings to share?
We have another Laverne one coming up, sorry.
No, wait, you're sorry to share no, there's something wrong with that same
I have a
sorry.
Yorba Linda condo in a Laverne, another Laverne, 1,400 square foot, 4-bed, 2-bath, fully remodeled, solar, electric, new roof, everything. It's going up at 860. It's right across from Bonita High School on 11th Street. And then a Yorba Linda condo, 2-bed, 1-bath, 980 square feet. We've got 550 recent comp just sold 550 model match. So Yorba Linda off Grandview and the 94. Yeah. Okay.
What's the one?
Hi, I didn't see it back then. Yorba Linda would be 550. Yeah. Upper unit. 980. Yeah. 2-bed, 1-bath. Yeah.
Nice, awesome. Anyone else has any listings they want to pitch? Anyone? I'll pitch one. So I just put one on the market yesterday. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, single story. It's in Anaheim Hills. It's listed for $675. It's gorgeous. It's amazing. All that good stuff. And like I said, we're gonna definitely start sending out listings. So that's definitely something. So if you guys have any listings coming up, email us. Let us know. So what we'll do, we'll start getting like an email so everyone knows exactly what's going on. So yeah. So if you have information about that, Sarah, you can send it to me or send it to any of the leadership, and we'll get that information out there to everyone.
Where is your listing?
It's in Anaheim Hills. It's off of 91 East, off of Lakeview. Make a left and then make a right on Santa Margarita. I'm picturing the MLS that I put in, the GPS. Picturing that, make a right to Margarita, then make a left to Vista Del Rio, then make a quick right, and then a quick left and right there. Yeah. So it's yes, yeah. The cross streets, yes, it's right down. It's right above the post office right there. But yeah. So anyway, after that, anyone else has any other listings they want to pitch? Going once, going twice before we move on. All right. We are moving on. All right, so shout out to KW Commercial. So they had 4 closed deals this month. They did a little over 3 million in closed volume, about 1.75 million under contract, and 3 new listings. So if you guys see, KW Commercial agents out there, definitely show them some, give them some congratulations. Because I don't know about you guys, but commercial deals take a long time to close. So. So it's always a good thing when they actually close.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
On KW Commercial, how does it work with, is it pretty much a corporate, like KW, like worldwide kind of like brokerage sign? Like how come they don't have to put vision on their signs? Because I noticed the guy had the KW Commercial was in Chino or something, and it was like, I was like, oh, maybe that's what it was. And then I'm like looking for the logo. They all only have KW Commercial. How do you know which one's a brokerage specific, or is it different?
No, I think most of them use KW Commercial like
It's like
routinely.
nationwide.
Because even the KW Commercial in different offices, they use KW Commercial.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think once it gets bigger and more agents, then yeah, that's definitely going to be something that we're gonna want to designate for sure. But I
Yeah.
think it's still relatively
Kinda like the luxury
manageable.
brands too, right?
I can say something.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so, commercial works in a different platform, right? It's in CoStar, not the MLS, so that works a little bit different. So we have a couple of DBAs, and we had to make it specific to commercial, separate from residential, because commercial agents do not like working with residential agents.
Yeah.
So in order to establish like a good presence and a professional commercial side presence, we kind of had to separate it a little bit. So you'll see either KW Commercial or KW Commercial Chino Hills, something along those lines.
Oh, cool.
With their listings.
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
So when we put a sign, can we just put a Keller Williams Realty, but we put our broker license number, or we have to put a KW Vision and a Keller Williams?
You can either use KW Vision or Keller Williams Chino Hills. Those are both registered with the DRE. So that's the thing you have to worry about for your signage, is the DRE.
So we don't have to put a DRE, the number, if we put a KW Vision or Chino Hills, so we don't have to put the license number?
No, you still put the broker ID on there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but the DBAs that you're allowed to use are KW Vision or Keller Williams Chino Hills.
We cannot just put a Keller Williams Realty?
No, it's the KW Vision or Keller Williams Chino Hills.
You have to be findable in the consumer lookup with the DRE. There are a million Keller Williams.
But we
You
have
to
the
be
number,
specific.
but we have the DRE.
It's just the DRE requirement.
And they'll come after you, believe me.
They
For sure, and the biggest complainers are realtors.
Because I
It's the
saw-
realtors that are the ones making the calls. Yeah, the
Some
realtors.
realtors just to put a Keller Williams Realty, I saw the sign and the street is like, I saw in Corona or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not supposed to do that though,
Well, they might get
because,
busted.
exactly.
If they get busted, it's a fine.
Mhm.
So,
Or
let's
maybe
not.
there's no name on the sign,
Yeah,
just a general sign.
Well, not like a for sale sign, is that what you're saying?
For sale sign.
Yeah, for sale sign for sure has to have KW Vision or Keller Williams Chino Hills, and also open house signs too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So let's say if we have a client, whether it's renting or buying, because you mentioned that commercial agent doesn't like to work with residential agents, right? So when we represent a buyer or a tenant for commercial, can we say we are KW Commercial, or we cannot say that?
no, you have to become a member of the commercial division. The
Oh.
entire way that business is done on the commercial side is completely different from residential. So there's a level of competency that's required to protect the brokerage and to protect you and to actually get the deal done. Most of the time when commercial agents find out you're with a residential, or you're a residential agent, they're not gonna work with you. So what
Maybe
we're
a commercial agent, right, from the
right,
other companies.
right.
I noticed that before, because I
Yes.
have a buyer before for commercial, they don't really respond back to me.
They do not.
So in
Yeah,
that case, like, how do I do in order for them to, respond to me?
yeah. They're not going to.
now I have a friend.
Well, I just refer to a
Warehouse.
commercial agent.
And
Yeah,
yeah, that means I cannot represent him to find the warehouse.
Well, we are, we're separating the two. You're either residential or you're a commercial agent. If you have commercial deals, refer it to one of the commercial team members who has access to the platform and all of the commercial agents and has a reputation in that community. That way you can still get a referral fee out of it, but you can't do both because it's just two separate ways of doing business, and we're, as a brokerage, we're liable for the competency of our agents, so we have to be careful about that. And these guys who do commercial, they're only doing commercial, and their reputation is on the line. And it gets out that, oh, you're from there now, or, it could ruin their business too.
And
So
in
we
that
have to be
case,
careful about that.
because like my commercial clients actually from referrals, and then the reason why they refer because it's, they know me.
Yeah,
Then in that case, will I be able to team up with one of the, commercial agent in our office and work with him, or
yeah.
instead of just getting a referral?
Yeah,
Is that something that's possible?
yeah, I would refer you to talk to Nick
Okay.
too. He's the commercial division leader. He and Gary Walsall are. So, talk to them.
Okay, and see how to do about it.
Yeah, because I understand that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a tricky thing, because it's not that anyone wants to take business away from you, but there's a reality behind it. For reputation, responses, getting the deal done, fiduciary duty to your client. So,
Okay. Just talk to them first.
yeah,
All right.
yeah, they're very fair-minded guys, so.
Awesome. I kind of went a different segue
Yeah,
there.
commercial, we only-
So this is the last time we have their slide on here. Because we all there's a lot of questions. I'm kidding. I'm kidding with you. We love you, Kingdom Commercial. We love you guys and girls. Yes. All right, perfect. So these are our numbers. Yes. So don't be freaked out.
We're not the only option.
Thank you. We are not the only ones, obviously dealing with the market, how it's changed in terms of rising interest rates and, sellers may not wanting to do price adjustments or price enhancements, and they still feel that, hey, my house is worth this, even though that was 3 months ago, right? So this is what's really, reflecting just based off of that. Now, obviously, as we continue, through the market, obviously, focusing on ways that we can help our buyers, get off the fence in terms of buying, maybe even negotiating prices, maybe 2-1 buy downs, and then also maybe reverse mortgages, that John's gonna talk about, because reverse mortgages, people can buy a house and not have to pay a mortgage payment. But John will talk more about that. So, yes, anyway, like I said, these numbers are reflective of what's going on in the market. They will improve, so don't let this stop you from progressing and moving forward, because there are people that are buying and selling up there.
I was just gonna say, let it motivate you to double down, right?
Absolutely, for sure, absolutely. All right, our September production rankings. All right, so $1 million a month, we had Jason, we had Danae, we had Alexis, we had Ethan, we had Sean, we had Daniel, we had Leticia, and we had Laura. So congratulations to $1 million a month. All right, monthly home run. We had Casey, Daniel, Jason, Nick, Thomas, and Gary. So congratulations on that.
You know what a home run is? No, you get one listing, one sale, and one contractor in the same month. And then that's considered a home run.
Yes. All right, so our top performers in September 22, we had Danae, we had Jason, we had Sandy, we had Mauricio, we had Daniel, Thomas, Tina. Congratulations there. Yes, we have Ethan, we have Sean.
Ethan and Sean are twins, that's funny.
You could have used the same picture though for Sean, right? I mean for Ethan, right? Oh yeah, Sean and Ethan, you should just use the same picture. You wouldn't know the difference. All right, so our top team and groups for September 2022, we had a Movement Real Estate, KW Vision Commercial, and we had a Fusion Home Group. So congratulations to them. And then our year to date. So we have Jason, we have Sarah. Sarah's right there. Congratulations. Yeah. We have Mercedes, we have Howard. He was right there. And he's here. Yay, Howard. And Olivia, Thomas, Mia, right there. Mia right there. Yeah. We have Mary Jo, we have Mauricio, we have Andrew. All right, our top teams and groups. We have Movement Real Estate, we have Fusion Home Group, and we have Purpose Life Homes. They're right there. Yeah. It's always nice when they're like in the room. It's kind of awkward, you're like clapping for people they're not here. It's like, will they hear me clap? Will they hear my appreciation? Right? All right, so Amy, tell us what's happening in our market center.
Okay, all right, so scripts and role play Mondays and Fridays from 10 to 10:30, and then lead gen from 10:30 to 12. With Q. You already heard how awesome it is, so come on. Got Ignite Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 1 to 4. We're playing that in here. Trying to get newer agents to get in here to attend it. Yes, it is Zoom. However, you can still have discussions and talk about things afterward. Stakeholder meetings, second and fourth Wednesday of every month from 11:30 to 12:30. Today we have John Torrijos from UAM here to talk about reverse mortgages. He'll be up in a moment. We've got Zoom classes are all linked at the bottom of the calendar, the online calendar. In case you're looking for those links, that's where you'll find them. Contracts with Kelly Wednesday mornings at 9. Tech with Scott Leroy Marketing, Tuesday through Thursday, 10 a.m. You can watch that online or any of these right here, the Zoom classes. You can watch them online on your own, or you can come in here. We'll play them. Tech with Ruben Bravo, our regional tech trainer, Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3. We've got new agent tech orientation with Ruben Friday. That's past, okay. But that's a really good class. So if you can catch that next time around, even if you've been here a while, you know, you probably don't know everything you can do in command. So it's a good class to go to. We've got productivity coaching on Wednesday nights at 5:30. Social events. We've got our Halloween party / chili cook-off.
Woo! Chili! Yeah. And costumes. I mean, what's better than that, right? I'm saying chili and costumes, right?
Exactly. Anybody bringing a chili?
I'm bringing chili.
With me?
Let's bring in chili. You can buy one, Tina. Buy chili. If you guys want to buy chili, you can do that too.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're gonna have chili, cornbread, snacks, like I think Daddy's bringing cupcakes and ice cream. We'll have candy for kids. Costumes are encouraged. It's just gonna be a fun kickback night. So come on out. And then we've got a Thanksgiving potluck and vendor appreciation that we're doing for our vendors and our agents. That's the 9th of November. It'll be right after the stakeholder meeting. And it's kind of open house style. That's why it's 3 hours long.
I love how you compare that to open house style, because we all know 1 to 4 is that's our open house. Right?
Yeah. So anyway, got some fun stuff coming up, and I hope you guys will enjoy it with us.
Excellent, thank you.
How long is
Thank you.
the time talk class usually with Kelly? Is that like an hour?
An hour to 2 hours. Yeah.
2? Okay.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Kelly, like she'll give out her cell phone number, and if you guys have any questions or anything, like she's willing to answer your questions. So definitely use her as a resource.
Yeah.
And do that. Jeannie said it's awesome. Yeah. All right. Say it again, Jeannie. It's awesome. There you go. There you go. All right. So our upcoming stakeholder meetings. We have Wednesday, November 9th. That's gonna be the Command Con. So if you guys aren't using Command, definitely start. We're gonna have it zooming here. It starts at 8 a.m. Our time. So we'll definitely have it running here at 8 in the morning. I will be here, make sure we get it up and running at 8 a.m. So again, it's free. You'll learn everything about Command. You'll learn how to run your business on Command. You'll learn how to generate leads on Command. just definitely come in and learn. I mean, this is something you're already paying for. Might as well use it, right? Makes sense. And then Wednesday, November 30th, we have our KW commercial panel. So we're going to have our top commercial agents such as Nick Cantu. We're also going to have Gary, and we're also going to have our broker Michael. He's also going to be on the KW commercial. Cool thing about Michael, he's a commercial real estate attorney, so he knows a lot about commercial. So definitely make sure you guys are there and get the information. Even if you're not in commercial, it's always nice to learn other aspects of it and understand why Amy said that commercial does commercial and residential does residential. So, all right, so we just talked about this. We have our Halloween party and chili cook-off. It's gonna be Thursday, October 7th, this coming Thursday. Costumes are highly encouraged and highly required, because I'm not gonna let you through the door unless I see a costume. And please, I don't want you coming in and say I'm a realtor. All right, you guys are always realtors. That's not a costume, regardless of what you guys are seeing on Instagram, right? Yeah, you guys seen some of those, right? You guys seen some of those costumes? Wait, I like the dad one. The buyer's dad's like this. All right, so this Friday I'm gonna start a shift book club. So it's gonna be Fridays at 3 p.m. If you guys want to attend, I know we still have to go calendar today. You can just click yes. We're gonna be going over pages 1 to 48. So before our Friday class, we're gonna be going through pages 1 to 48. We'll be going over shift tactics number 1 and number 3. So make sure to check that out. We'll be going over sales cycle. We'll be going over the 6 concepts of an agent, and we'll be going over more of those tactics as well. So what you're gonna be learning in the Shift Book Club is obviously how to build your business and how to keep it thriving in this current market shift. So I definitely highly encourage you guys to attend, because you're going to get value at it. I'm gonna give you assignments of things to complete. It's gonna be fun, and you're going to get business out of it, and it's just gonna make you a better realtor. Because if you can thrive in this market shift, just imagine when the market turns and it starts to get better, right? You're just gonna be so more well equipped. So that's gonna be Fridays, starting this Friday at 3 p.m.
Awesome.
All right, Thanksgiving potluck, that's gonna be November 9th. So another way we're gonna be able to celebrate and also give back to our vendors, like vendors such as John, right? Vendors that take time out of their day to provide value to us. So it's a way for us to appreciate them, especially Thanksgiving, right? That's what Thanksgiving's about. Giving thanks to people that we care about and that we love and all that good stuff. So, and if you want to sign up for items, the sign sheet's right on the front desk there. So you guys make sure to sign up. All right, we are doing a Thanksgiving food drive. So nothing like going out to your communities and getting items from them so you can share it with people that are less fortunate. I know that we sent out an email a couple weeks ago. We'll be sending out an email this week if we haven't already done that. Today. So what you can do with these flyers, obviously you can share them electronically, or you can print them out, maybe post them at, in different locations. Or what you can do if you're doing open houses, you can also, create a box, put a flyer on there. And as people are coming to your open house, you can let them know that you are doing a canned food drive. And if you farm, obviously this would be a good way for you to get out to the neighborhoods. And it's not so salesy, right? You're actually, getting items for people that are less fortunate. So definitely take the opportunity to do this. I believe we're going into November 15th. That's when it's going to get picked up.
Yes, Tuesday, November 15th. So feel free to use either one, but the one on the right is obviously created for you guys to put a time and date for you to pick up, and also obviously place business card here. So you would staple your business card to this one, but either one works. It's up to you guys which one you want to use. And I currently do have 20 of the one on the right printed and at the front desk.
Yeah, thank you. All right, compliance sit with Sandy. Sandy. Let me unmute
Hi
Sandy.
there.
All right, perfect. Can you guys hear?
Yes.
Hello, everyone. It's Sandy, our Chief Compliance Officer, and I just wanted to give you a tip today. Given our market, and we need to be creative on how to position ourselves to give us an edge with our competition, as well as to attract buyers. Therefore, I wanted to just give you a tip on selling your listings, and that would be if you've got a seller, you can help them with having them buy down the buyer's interest rate. And John recently gave a class on this, which was wonderful. That way, buyers are able to qualify for more, and sellers can help them be able to purchase their property over maybe a competing listing. So I just wanted to, one, bring that to your attention as maybe a marketing tool. You could add it to the MLS private remarks, as well as you can put it in a counter offer. I do have particular verbiage for being able to do both. If you'd like here, I can screen share, or I can just go over it. And for anyone who's interested in that specific verbiage, I can send it to you. Basically, what we'd be wanting to do in that verbiage, and I'm just going to read this off to you, is indicate that the seller is willing to pay up to whatever that maximum amount is. And then it would be towards buyer closing costs to include the buy down of the buyer's interest rate, which shall be subject to the lender approval and reflected on the buyer's closing statement. Those are important two key things to include in this, because as you're aware in the contract, it covers that if the closing costs aren't enough, if the buy down's not enough, it's only up to that amount that it would apply. So because of that, we actually even want to add, after we give that dollar amount, in parentheses, put that it's to be determined by what the lender will allow. So these are all key things that you would want to include in that verbiage. So I wanted to make sure that you had that. And also just to, again, think creatively, think in a way that might position your listing better than the competition, and try to attract buyers who right now are having a difficult time in this market, given the increase in interest rates. And also our United American Mortgage loan officer, John, he'd be able to help you with any buyers that might be able to take advantage of this. And again, you can reach out to me if you'd like that specific verbiage. I'm happy to give it to you. But that was just a quick tip for today. And thank you, and have a great rest of your day.
Yes, thank you, Sandy.
Can I ask a question? Was
Sure.
that for the MLS? Is that what she's giving us that verbiage for, to put in our MLS?
Yes, that's one of the options, right? Sandy, you can actually put in the
Right.
MLS
And
private remark.
If Kara, if you want to screen share, I could show that to you. It's very similar, the verbiage between the private remarks and the MLS, as well as in your counter. One of the key things is, remember, we're taking this position from the sellers, if you're representing the seller. So we're using the verbiage up to that amount. So if it's less than that amount, obviously it would only be up to the amount of that maximum. But yes, you could put it in the private remarks in the MLS. It just don't put it in the property description, because
you can actually share your screen now.
Okay.
So you can show the verbiage, what it would look like, or where would you place it?
Sure. Let me just grab that really quick here. So you can do the same type of thing for your buyers, but you would just tweak the the verbiage a little bit, because we would want to reflect it so that the seller is going to pay it regardless, up to a certain amount. So again, it would be very similar, the verbiage you would use if you put it in a counter for your buyer, for the seller to pay for this. We would just add a little bit of tweaking. But as you can see here, I have it for the MLS private remarks, and also for your counter offer. So so that gives it to you. And again, if you needed to go over it with me one-on-one, you're welcome to reach out to me as well. But that gives you the verbiage that you would want to include. And the reason why the verbiage is this way is because we, one, need to make sure that it's determined by what the lender will allow, that it also needs to be approved by the lender, and that it's reflected on the buyer's closing statement. And that's because what we don't want to run into is you're making an offer and for some reason the lender doesn't approve it, and then they want you to do it outside of escrow. So this language avoids those potential problems. So again, if you need more help on it, just let me know. And I hope that helps for today.
Yeah. So yeah, we do have the language that Sandy is explaining. So what we'll do is we'll actually share that out, because for some reason when you hit your share screen, Sandy, it didn't pop up. We only see it
Oh.
here.
Oh, I'm
Yes. But what
sorry.
we'll do is we'll share because we actually have the Word doc here. So what we can do is we can.
Can she share it now?
Oh, can you share it now, Sandy?
Okay, let me try. Oh, sorry.
All right, perfect. All right.
Sorry, that was the wrong one.
Oh.
There we go. Can you see it now? Does it work now?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see the one that you
Well,
don't
Word
want us
doc,
to see.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Gosh, well,
No
this
worries.
isn't working out too well.
Well, stop
I have-
screen share and then go back to share again, and then choose the screen that has your document on it.
Okay, so let me see if I can stop screen share. That's the real question. I can't just do a new screen share?
If you go up to the top, there's a toolbar that will pop up. Or
Oh, okay.
your screen.
I apologize. I'm not.
No worries.
Hey, we're struggling over here too.
Okay, let me see. I'm not seeing. Oh, stop share. I got it. Okay, well, that is a very good book, by the way. I can't recommend that enough. That's another actionable tip there. But let me see if I have some additional luck with it doing it now. So let me just take a real quick look here. It's unfortunately not cooperating on my end. So I apologize. I'll send it out to those that would like it. And I don't know why it's not coming up right now.
If you want to send it to Monique and I, we'll get it out to everyone.
Okay, that sounds wonderful. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love that we can put that in the list. I think that's awesome.
Absolutely, for sure, because it gives
Yeah, I
your
wondered about that.
agents a head start. Oh, yeah, because I'm seeing where the PowerPoint disappeared to.
Okay, I got you.
Which
Yeah.
means you should get writers for sales tax too. Say this one goes with a lower rate.
Well,
Sold
you
at a
know
lower
your client's accepting 2-1 buy downs, right? Yes.
Home sold at a lower rate.
Yes, for sure.
What's that? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, you should be good now.
Yeah.
Clicker.
Oh, like,
Yeah,
Sure you're
perfect.
good. Okay, all right.
So these are design highlights that you can find in Command. So anytime you want to share holidays, all that good stuff, you can find it in Command under design highlights. All right, our family reunion. So it's coming up February 18th to 21st. It's going to be in Anaheim, right in our backyard. And right now it's in person only. So they haven't let us know any type of digital option. So make sure to put that date on your calendar and block that out. You'll definitely get a lot of value out of it, a lot of different networking opportunities. I know a lot of agents walk away with at least 100 new contacts of agents all over the world. So definitely a great opportunity to expand your business as well as learn. All right, CommandCon is going to be November 9th. Again, it starts at 8 a.m. We'll be streaming it live here. Great opportunity to learn how to grow your sphere of influence, learn some Facebook marketing, and running a team. All right, make sure when you guys are making your cold calls, if you're still doing that stuff, make sure that you are not contacting people on the do not call list, because you don't want to get a big fine, because it's not fun and they're expensive.
Can I say something?
Of course you can.
Okay, so on this one, we downloaded the list and put it into the Agent Resource Center. So if you go into the lead generation folder of the Agent Resource Center, you'll find the list. We have 626 909 949 714 626 and I think 562.
Perfect, thank you. All right, so how's the market looking? It's a question, how's the market looking?
Well, about 52% are taking price reductions, so.
Yes, absolutely,
Nationwide,
right?
I think it's at like 43, so we're definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
saying we're in recession.
Yeah, okay, can I say something about that? So the market seems like it's just one of the worst markets we've ever been in. Right? I mean, it feels that way. But I don't know if you guys know the numbers, but in 2022, there was $4.4 trillion in mortgages completed. Okay. Record number. Same with 2021. It was over 4 trillion. This year, they're projecting about 2.2 to 2.3 trillion in mortgage volume. So, and it's going to be majority of homes that are being purchased, not, because those numbers include refinance. But what I want to say is they're projecting 2.2 to 2.3 trillion. Does anybody know what the number was in 2019 before COVID started? It was about 2.1 trillion in mortgage volume. So we're at about the same mortgage volume as we were in 2019, although it feels so different because we were double what we were doing for the previous 2 years. So while it looks like doom and gloom, it's not. I mean, obviously we all know we just have to work a little bit harder, a little bit more, and this thing will turn around. But I just wanted to point that out. The volume itself is about the same as it was in 2019 before COVID hit. So we're back to that. So although it looks really bad. just thought I would share that.
Yeah, well, certain economists that I follow, they determine that this is the third worst economy we've been in. What do you think the number one was? Well, what is it?
Yeah.
2008.
Yes, they said that was the number one. The number two one, they said it was like 1990, 1991. And then they said this is the third worst one, right? So for everyone that's saying that we're in the worst economy we've ever been in, it's not true. This is actually the third worst, right? So
Well, just because we're in it, that what I'm hearing too is just because we're hearing those kinds of things with inflation, recession, it doesn't always hit it's not that the housing market is going to be felt the way the rest of the economy is going to be felt too. So we have to keep things a little bit compartmentalized of how we're being affected.
absolutely.
So I have people going, man, we should have signed at 6.25 interest rate. You're like, oh my gosh. It's like, back when we thought we were paying $5, a gallon now, I'm like paying 6. I'm going, ouch, I wish I had 5.
And when we get back to 5,
Yeah.
whenever that is, you're going to just see an influx of buyers come on.
Yes,
And then we may be back to that same thing that we talked about, limited inventory. There may be back to bidding again and pushing up prices again. And when you get to 5, what's the fear? I don't want to get to 6 or 7.5 again. So they'll be off the fence when we get there.
Absolutely.
Oh,
No, I was gonna say, I had a current conversation with 2 young couples, coincidentally at Renton, at open house, 2 of them, just, new couples getting married, you can see the dreams in their eyes still. They had like a fresh, they were still looking forward to stuff. And then coincidentally, then a couple months later, had another couple, same thing, how to do. And I didn't see any negativity, which was very encouraging, in their perspective. It reminded me again that, there's still people dreaming out there. And they weren't negative about any, in their case, they were in a good position. They both had good jobs. So I might say, when we were talking to them, they both had good jobs. So they're looking forward to trying to find. Well, I think those stories like that keep us, kind of encouraged, even with all of
Yeah, for sure. And I think you definitely have to listen to, where you're actually getting the value information from. I had a chief economist 3 days ago talk about the market's going to crash. You know what I mean? And for me, I feel that's very irresponsible for you to say something like that. Because you got some people that hear that, oh my gosh, the world is ending, Armageddon's here, right? So, being in positions of where we're at in terms of real estate professionals, we have to be, understand how we're actually relaying information out there. You know what I mean? Obviously, we are experiencing inflation, right? Things are becoming more expensive. We understand that, but it doesn't necessarily have to do with what's going on with the housing market. And at the end of the day, it's really about that person's situation, not what's going on with the world. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to understand that. And like, and the thing is, if you're still doing open houses out there, who are the people coming to open houses? Most of the people that come to houses are people that want to buy. You know what I mean? So why are you gonna waste your time to come to open house and say, man, the market sucks, everything's so expensive? It's like, why did you come to my open house today just to say that? You could have stayed your butt at home. You know what I mean? So just keep that in mind, that most people that are going to your open houses do want to actually buy a house, right? Now, typically after this slide, I usually have about 3 other slides that market, but for some reason not here. So, thank you guys for, yes, Sarah.
Real quick, a really awesome tool that we've stumbled across that we've been leaning on big time in our team is called Altos Research.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Yes,
Using Altos.
yes.
But it's about $79 a month, I think, and you get 10 zip codes on that, and you guys use Altos, I know.
We can
right?
also get you Altos for free.
There you go. So call Ray, because we use it on the daily, and every Monday you get a webinar from the guy, and then throughout the week, he interviews big people in the industry, in the federal, like all the different like markets and industries he's interviewing. And so it's just and it's just all numbers. I mean, it's kind of boring, but you sound really smart, and and it's a play-by-play, it's like minute to minute of what's going on in the market that year. So you can send that to sellers or.
Can I piggyback on Altos really quick? What's so great about Altos is it's a niche report. Instead of finding out what's happening a month ago in California, typically our reports are all like, okay, here's what's happening in Southern California. Altos actually takes you down to the zip code. So if you have an area like Chino Hills has 2 different zip codes, what's happening in one might not be happening in the other. So you can either pull, Chino has 2 different zip codes. You can either pull Chino, just the city, or you can be specific and say, hey, I want 91708. I want to know what's happening there. Altos updates all our numbers weekly. It's going to give you a ton of demographics to go off of what's happening in the market, how to speak to those demographics. It's going to say like, this is where the market is heading this month. It is leaning more towards the seller's market or buyer's market. Here's where it was at last month. Here's how you answer the question of what's happening in the market exactly. And then it will also break down the data so far as to go into depth on the type of home. So it'll say homes that are over this square footage in Chino, they're actually sitting for 34 days. But your homes that are at this square footage, this price point, they're sitting for 45 days. So that if you do have to go in and talk to somebody that you maybe need a price improvement on, you can come with facts. If you are going to go meet with somebody who's coming off an expired, you can have all of this information that's down to a week, letting them know why it's going to be different this time around and different with you as an agent. That is a great resource. We shoot them off to you as often as you want them. Just reach out to Tim Deborah or myself. I would highly suggest using them. Post about them, like door knock with them. I have an agent that took the about a 6-page report, but there's an overview page. So she took the overview page, put it on the back side of her open house for just sold, and she just walked the neighborhood 3 different times in that same neighborhood. But now they kept that piece of paper and it has for just listed, just sold right there on her open house.
And it's
Definitely
a live
take
link.
advantage.
It's a live link you can send your clients. So
Perfect.
when they click on it, it's like to date, you know? But it's also when you get like a listing call and you're on the phone in the car and you don't have the MLS to pull up and you're not gonna give them what you think their home's worth. But
course
you
not, never do
all
that.
their numbers, and they're not gonna hear that from other agents that they're calling when you're interviewing for the job while you're waiting to get in front of them. So it is a huge value add
It's
in
great
very
value
many
add.
ways, so.
And how much you say it was?
I pay $80 a month.
We just have we have a corporate account, so we can access them whenever we want. Send them to whoever. I have a couple people that are like on a drip. They want it they want these reports these days, and they send it out to the thing. So
She said free.
yeah.
That's what I was waiting for. Yes, but I mean, information and tools like that make you guys the skill-based agents that our clients are looking for and that they need. I mean, being able to break down from a square footage of a house, determining how many days you're on the market, that's huge. You know, because most reports will just go over, you know, the city, you know, and then the days of market. But if you could break down that, well, a 4-bedroom house, days of market are this, as opposed to a 3-bedroom house, days of market are this, it just makes you the expert. And a lot of agents don't want to spend their time, they don't want to spend the money on that kind of stuff. So it's just going to separate yourself even more. So tools like that are definitely things that are going to help you, you know, thrive in this market. So thank you both for sharing Altos. So awesome. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to our guest speaker for the day. I mean, if you guys are checking your emails on a weekly basis, you are getting market updates from this gentleman right here. So without further ado, let's welcome John.
So this thing's gonna work.
Yes, it is. We've tested like 17 times, so it's gonna work.
thank you everybody for coming out for this. Reverse mortgages is, you're probably not going to do a ton of this out there, but it just puts another tool in your toolbox when you're sitting with a client looking at getting a listing. Now, here we go. Let me just see if I get this started off. Keep going.
Yeah, click again.
Are
you on the-
on the right?
That one, yeah.
Oh, I was thinking top. Okay, so that's user error. So, reverse mortgage purchase funding for your clients. So what is a reverse mortgage? So let's start off with that. It's a loan that allows homeowners age 62 or older to borrow equity from their home without monthly repayment obligations, creating cash flow and additional funds to live more comfortably in retirement. It's FHA insured. So just like an FHA loan, it is government insured. No monthly payments required. Although if they want to make payments, they can make payments. You just don't have to.
So let me ask you a question, John.
Yes.
Why would someone want to make payments if they don't have to?
They won't. Like that's the whole thing. I mean, because if you're talking to a client that might say, well, if my equity is, if I'm going to have less equity, I could still make a payment. But the reality is they're not going to make a payment. So,
Right.
and I'll get into that a little bit here too. Great interest rates, although they're not the greatest right now. Flexible payout options, meaning if you were refinancing a property, you could get line of credit, you could get a lump sum. There's different options. But in a purchase, you're going to bring money into the transaction, and you're just not going to have any payments. You won't owe any payments. Over the course of that loan. And there are safeguards to protect the senior homeowners. So before I move on, let me just say real quick, the reverse mortgage. So you have a forward mortgage, which is a regular mortgage. Every month you write a check or you send it through your bank's bill pay, and your balance goes down on your mortgage. A reverse mortgage is opposite. Every month a payment is still taken out, but it's taken out of your equity. So basically, a client is qualified on their age and equity, and they do have to meet some credit, some income qualifications. But let's just say, let's use a 50-50 model. If the house is worth $400,000 and they take out a reverse mortgage for $200,000, they're using 50% of their equity, although the number's much higher now, but 50% of their equity. Over the course of time, a little bit of that 200,000 of equity is going to get eaten away. Every single month it's getting eaten away. So that's how the reverse mortgage works. It's different than a regular forward mortgage, but again, they can make payments if they choose to. So who qualifies and uses a reverse mortgage? It could be anybody, anybody over 62. So common uses. Reverse mortgage funds have been used for over 2 decades to maintain ownership and independence, retire an existing mortgage, no more payments, replace lost income and cover rising expenses, home repairs, modifications and updates, charitable and legacy giving, healthcare costs, live more comfortably in retirement, and purchase a property. This particular, well, we'll go over this. Benefits of purchasing a home with a reverse mortgage. It preserves your savings and increased cash flow. Meaning, if let's say you're wanting to purchase a home, you have a home that's paid off. You're thinking, man, with the prices, we cannot sell our home and go and get into a mortgage on another home. Let's say they want to downsize to a smaller home, but that home is $700,000. They may only be on Social Security or a small pension. They would never qualify for something like that, unless if they had a significant savings, they bring a bigger down payment. In this case, you would use the equity from the sale of your purchase to go ahead and get into a home. So it can preserve their savings and increase their cash flow. No monthly payments required. Easy income and credit qualifications. Homeowner retains title and equity to the home, not the lender. Now, that's a big thing there. So many people are so concerned that the lender owns your house. It works the same exact way as a forward mortgage. You take out a loan, you have a note, and you have a deed of trust. It's the same thing on a reverse mortgage. That doesn't change. homeowner can continue to benefit from appreciation. No repayment is required until the home is sold or the last borrower permanently moves out or passes away. Now on that, let's say you have a homeowner in the house, husband and wife do it, the husband passes away. The wife can still live in that house for the remainder of her life. Now, if she has to go into an assisted living home or something to that effect, they would not call the loan due, but they would have up to 1 year to sell or refinance the property. So family can come in and take it, refinance it into their name, or sell or do whatever they want. So they're never, if she goes into a home, you're still gonna have 6 months, the first 6 months, then you get a 6-month extension. Now, if the last borrower passes away, it's the same thing. The heirs will have that time to get their affairs in order and sell the house or refinance the house to keep it. It gives them, the last thing is, by doing a reverse mortgage purchase, it gives you increased purchasing power. And I'll use an example in just a minute. So again, one homeowner must be 62. Property must be your primary residence. Owner occupied within 60 days, just like FHA now. Certificate of occupancy must be issued. That's like if it's a new build, new construction. Single family resident, up to 1 to 4 unit properties can be used on a townhome or an FHA approved condo. They have to have sourced and seasoned down payment fund. Nothing there is different than a regular mortgage. If you just deposited 100,000 in your bank and you want to use it, it needs to be there for 6 months. But we're mostly talking here about somebody that's going to sell their home and bring it into closing. So funds that are available that you can use. Liquidation of assets, whether it's an IRA, 401k, whatever it may be. Deed of sale or a CD closing statement from a property you're selling. Verifications of deposit from your bank and investment accounts, or gifts from family. You can still get a gift. I actually had a client a number of years ago that his father-in-law had done a reverse mortgage, and the father-in-law was wanting to help his son-in-law and daughter. They were of age to do a reverse mortgage, but they didn't have enough equity in the home to do the reverse mortgage. The father-in-law said, I'm going to give you part of your inheritance. And I forget the amount. It was $50,000 or $70,000 that he gave them to help meet that gap. So now his daughter and son-in-law were able to do a reverse mortgage as a refinance and not have any mortgage payments. So you can gift funds on these as well. How does it work? So this is kind of what I wanted to talk a little bit about. So let's say Mr. and Mrs. Smith, both 65 years old, decide to purchase a more desirable single story. Let's say they're downsizing from a 2-story home that they've lived in for 30 years. They're working with you to sell their current home and plan to net $400,000. They do not want monthly mortgage payments. So in that scenario, they would have to probably purchase a home using all that money with no payments of about $385,000, $390,000, purchase a home, use up their $400,000 for closing costs and a $385,000 purchase price. Does that make sense? So like if you were going to have a house with no mortgage payment and you only had $400,000, you could only buy a house for $385,000 plus closing costs, totaling about $400,000. So with the reverse mortgage, the same scenario, they can purchase a home up to $610,000 using those $400,000 in net equity that they're making from their purchase. So basically, they would bring in those $400,000, but it would allow them to qualify for a home for $610,000 with no mortgage payment whatsoever. Although they can make a payment if they want to.
Excuse me, John. So is there a certain percentage a person needs to bring in?
Yeah, so right now this chart used to look different before rates went up. It used to be more of a 50-50. Right now, they're having to come in with about 60 to 65% because of where rates are. So, and if you remember what I said, payments are coming out of the equity. When the rates are lower, there's less interest coming out of the equity. When the rates are higher, there's more interest coming out of the equity. So it kind of works like an actuarial table. They kind of figure out how long, what's the expected life expectancy of somebody, at a particular age. So for somebody that's 65, they're needing to come in with about 60 to 65%. And prior, when rates were down, that was about 45 to 50%. So it's changed quite
That's
a
like
bit.
a 8
Yeah.
from a 610 to 800.
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest things right now with what's going on with rates. So again, no mortgage payment. Preserve your savings and income. So Mr. and Mrs. Johnson are considering depleting a retirement fund to purchase their right home. They and their wealth management professional are concerned they will outlive their income if they do this. I actually had a client, I was working with a financial planner, that this guy had been a financial planner for a number of years. He referred a client to me. He's like, John, she needs to do a reverse mortgage. She only has X amount of dollars left in her account. She's going to deplete that account. And the lady would not, and she was about 81, and she would not do the reverse mortgage. She said, I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it, for whatever her personal reasons are. Well, a couple of years later, she ended up having to sell her house. She'd rather sell the house and had to move in with family or something to that effect when she could have done the reverse mortgage, stayed in the home, but she chose not to. And that was her choice. That's just a scenario where she was going to outlived the money that she had with her financial advisor. So it happens. Qualify more borrowers, more buyers. So this is just a silly scenario. Mark's portfolio took a hit during the past few years, and he's now retired. He was unable to keep up with his payments and went back to work to help support his lifestyle. He would like to downsize so he can retire again, but he's been denied for traditional financing due to poor credit and lack of income. So it's okay, Mark. Income and credit qualifications for reverse mortgage financing are understanding of extenuating circumstances that can happen. Now, there was a time when we didn't have to qualify using income on a reverse mortgage. All you had to do was be 62 or older and had enough equity in your property. Now, what they're doing, they're wanting for you to at least qualify for any additional debt that you have on your credit, car payments, credit cards, whatever it may be, and for sure your homeowner's insurance and your property taxes. The home could be foreclosed upon for not paying homeowner's insurance and property taxes. Since you're not making a payment, there's nobody collecting those for you. Those are two musts. And when they go to counseling, they're told about that. When they talk to me, they're told about that. This is one of the biggest things. One of the biggest reasons we see people getting a home foreclosed on a reverse mortgage, not paying taxes. You have to pay these items. So, and they're not too concerned with credit. Credit should not, if you have a 500 credit score, that's not really going to be a factor, although you're going to have to explain what's going on there. It's just not going to stop you from doing a reverse mortgage. In his case, his income wasn't keeping up with his lifestyle, so he had to go back to work, and he just couldn't keep up with that. This is a whole nother scenario. You can use a reverse mortgage to purchase a second home. Now, the way this would work, in this case, Jean and Ron own a home free and clear in Minnesota for $475,000. They like to spend the summer months in Florida. They refinance their primary residence, do a reverse mortgage, pull cash out. Now you can see the number is a little old here. They want to buy a condo in Florida for $110,000. They take some of their money, purchase that condo outright in Florida, and then now they have two homes that they don't have mortgages on, or they have a reverse mortgage on the main home. They just don't have to make a payment, but the other house is completely paid off. So by refinancing their home in Minnesota with a reverse, Jean and Ron can use a portion of that equity to purchase the condo for cash. Now they own two. Now, legacy giving. Another thing, let's say here, Arlene owns her home free and clear. Arlene's grandson, Kyle, and his bride want to buy their first home. In today's mortgage environment, the kids need a substantial down payment to purchase. They're told to save for 3 years. While grandma or mom, whoever it could be in whatever the situation, rather than waiting till she's passed on to give an inheritance, she can do a reverse mortgage and give her kids the funds now to help them with that, if she so chooses. But again, no payment. Now, the biggest, so how can my senior clients and their families benefit? Clients who may not qualify for traditional forward financing may now be able to own using the purchase power reverse. Senior clients can purchase more home by doubling their cash investment using reverse mortgage financing. Your clients can retain and hopefully grow other assets that they don't have to bring in, use a reverse mortgage instead to purchase. They can purchase a second home, do legacy giving, and again, they still own the home. And it's basically a FHA. So the big thing that I want to say about the reverse purchase is when you're sitting with a client and they feel like there's just no way they can afford to downsize, or for whatever reason, whether it's the income, whatever it may be, if they have enough equity, this is an option for them to look at to be able to downsize into that smaller property. Yes, it may be more expensive, but this is a great product to help with that because they can roll that equity over and still get into a property potentially with no payment. So I mean, the scenario I used earlier is somebody netting 400,000. You have somebody that's been in their house 30 or 40 years. Let's just use that. There's the potential they have 600, 700, 800,000, and the house is paid off. Not to say they have to buy a $1.5 million home or anything, but if they were to buy something 700,000 and they have 700,000, they could bring in about, what's that, maybe 400,000, 500, still have money left over from their sale and put it in the bank and create other investment options. So that's, any questions so far on this? Yes.
Yeah, to me, it feels like, I don't know what is right or wrong. The client's equity and debt now never change actually during the whole process, if not consider the interest they pay. Or
You mean-
another way to say that they're only paying the interest during the whole process.
Right.
The house is sold.
They're only paying
Yeah.
on a reverse mortgage. On a reverse mortgage, the only thing coming out is interest. Every single month is interest.
Yeah, they're only paying interest because their equity is taken out to pay the debt, but the debt is also being reduced accordingly. So that's the game of the interest actually.
Yeah, but the debt, which the liability is actually going up. Yeah, you're because your loan amount is going to be greater at the end of, let's say, 5 years, 10 years.
Because you can pay interest.
Because the interest, because they're pulling it from.
Pulling it from your equity.
Right.
Now interest.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, if we're not considering the interest, the amount doesn't change.
Right.
During the whole process, over time, they're only paying the interest.
Correct, only paying interest
So-
and mortgage insurance because it is an FHA
That's
insured
another-
mortgage.
yeah, another thing.
Right, but only interest.
But why don't we just, we do another way, we don't need to be that complicated, just pay the interest during the whole time until the house is.
They
sold.
can, I mean, if you have a client, you could advise them to do that. But from my experience, most people will not do that. But it's okay for you to advise them
But it's
because,
the same project, actually, the
Yeah.
result is the same.
But it's not coming out of their pocket on a monthly
Right.
basis. It's being pulled from their home.
From the
equity.
equity.
So they're not paying a check, they're not writing a check.
So it's like they live there for
They're
free.
literally
Yeah.
living for free
yeah,
on a monthly, it feels like their cash flow feels like they're living
Cash
for free.
flow.
But when they go to sell, it's that equity is getting lower and lower and lower.
and depending on, we have on our proposals, it says, based on expected growth of the property of equity, it'll say, even though you're pulling this much out, you're still gonna have X amount left in equity. Nobody knows that. That's just like a financial advisor saying, look at this investment, in 10 years, it's gonna be worth this.
Nobody
You-
knew COVID was coming,
Yeah,
right?
you don't know,
Right,
You-
it's not part of that.
you don't know where you're gonna be at, but, they can live there the rest. So take a 65-year-old person, let's say they live to 95. They can live there 30 years without ever having to make a mortgage payment. And at the end of those 30 years, if the house is upside down,
Yeah, this
Okay.
is- I'm curious
Yeah.
about that.
if the house is upside down, there are a couple of options. Obviously, the family is not going to want it if it's let's say it's $100,000 upside down. The family's not going to want that. So the home, because it's what you call non-recourse, it's an FHA government insured loan. The FHA insurance covers that loss to the mortgage company. The family just says, okay, we're giving it back to the bank. It's upside down. We don't want it. Now, if there's equity in the property, when the person, excuse me, when the person passes, now under that scenario, the family that's left has the option of selling the property or refinancing the property and keeping the property. Now, there is one last thing. Even though the property is upside down, the family member does have the option to purchase or refinance that property at 95% of the appraised value. So again, so even if it's upside down, they still have an option to purchase it at 95% of the appraised value.
And John, sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
So in terms of, so let's say the house is like, let's say like 900,000 in terms of underwater, right? The house gets appraised and it's appraised at, let's say, $799.
Mm-hmm.
That person would only have to pay 95% of that appraised value, not how much it's actually underwater.
Yeah, if I'm understanding, you're saying if it's underwater.
Right, like, yeah, like obviously now what's going on with,
Yeah.
homes losing values
Yeah.
and everything like that.
Yes, you only pay 95% of the new appraised value of whatever it appraises for.
So the bank loses more money.
The bank loses more money, but it's insured.
Right.
The bank, and this is a program that you never come back to the family and say, you owe X amount of dollars. The family's out of it. The heirs, everybody, it's non-recourse, meaning there is no recourse to any outside family members.
And would you say that's one of the negatives of using it is when you're building your own net worth, right, for your family's inheritance in the future, you wouldn't want to use this on a flippant use because at the end of the day, you're not really giving your family a possible
Right.
asset.
So that's a great question because that's the biggest hurdle when somebody wants to do it that's the biggest question from their children,
Yeah.
from their heirs.
Right.
So the heirs are saying,
Hold on.
well, if that's our inheritance, but what's the option there? If mom and dad can't afford the property, if mom and dad can't pay the mortgage or have medical bills or just want a better quality of life for the next however many years, then those are reasons to do it. But you are correct, because that is a battle. I don't want to say battle. That is that's always a
It
challenge.
takes away from the
Yes.
desirability of doing it.
Right, and there are some family members, like I'll say me as an example. I have two siblings. My parents will, like my dad's very conservative, very doesn't want to do anything outside the box, so he wouldn't do a reverse mortgage, which is fine. But with us, we're like, hey, Dad, we don't care what you do with the property. We're all in decent shape. If you do a reverse or if you sell it, whatever, we don't care. We're not looking for you to give us money. But a lot of families aren't like that, where they're expecting something from mom and dad when mom and dad passes. So that is a challenge that we get through. If there are adult children involved, that's a conversation that's always had. But it just depends on the scenario. And it's not for me to convince anybody, it's just to educate them on the product and what it can do and how it can help. And that's that. I will say, let's go back to when the market, like 2008, when the market crashed, right? Mm-hmm. And it was a different product back then. So obviously we know the market tanked. The homes lost over what, 50, 60, 70% of their value. Now, if you were in a reverse mortgage back then, and the value, there were so many of these homes underwater at that time. And there was something in place where, and this is some of the stories you may have heard, where if you weren't old enough to be on the original loan, there was no recourse for that person. If it was just the husband but not the wife, and the husband passed away, now the wife had to sell the home or refinance the home. Now, she was not able to do that because she didn't have the income. So a lot of those homes went to foreclosure. Those are some of the stories that you've probably heard over the years, like, oh, I heard you just lose the house. Well, that was true. And I forget when they made the change. It may have been around 2011 or 2013. They made it to where now if you have, let's say the husband is 65 and the wife is 59, the wife can still go on the loan and go on title and be a part of it. They'll use her age to qualify how much equity they're able to use. And it's gonna be a lower amount because she's younger, although she wouldn't be able to do a loan by herself, but because they're married, she would be able to be on it. Now, if the husband passes and she's only 61 years old, she's not forced to sell the home or refinance the home. She can still live in the home for the rest of her days.
That's great.
So that was a change that was made after what happened in 2008. So if you hear those stories, because that's what everybody says, well, I heard you just lose your home. That's where they got that.
So like if they're upside down, but not because, if they're upside down on it, but they're up to date on their taxes and insurance and things that you mentioned are another factor for foreclosure, they can't technically take the home away just because they're upside down.
No,
right?
that they can be upside down for 20 years.
Got it.
And as long as they're paying taxes and insurance, nobody will ever come and take that.
That's a benefit.
Yeah.
Quick question, as far as approval goes, like if you're working through a condo development, like we have FHA, VA approved condo developments, is that the same with this? Like, is that something, because you said it's similar to an FHA, or they are FHA, VA approved?
Excuse me. You have to be approved. If it's a condo, you do have, that condo does have to be FHA approved to do.
It falls under the
Yes.
FHA guidelines.
Just like
Okay.
FHA, it's exactly the same.
Okay,
If it's in the trust, they have to, doing the transaction, they have to pull it out of the trust and put it back in the trust.
So if you're saying if it's in the trust
Yeah.
prior to, and then go, so it can, depending on the escrow and title coming in, sometimes the lender, they'll pull it out of the trust and put it right back in. But I will tell you, when it comes to seniors, we try to make it where it just goes right. We just do the transaction in the trust right out of the gate. We don't pull it out and put it back in.
I've heard of hearts.
Yeah, just so there's not that period. I mean, but it would literally be a day or two that it was out of the trust, because they pull it out and then they would re-record right after, which is silly to me that they do that, but it does happen. Yeah. So, okay, so let's see.
and as far as like closing timeframes, it's been a while since I've seen any of these come out. I've never even had a buyer
Right.
like purchase with one, but on the sales side, like the seller, I can't remember, do we need a longer closing timeframe?
You would
to get
probably
that
want to
closed
be
out?
45.
Okay,
At least a minimum of 45, possibly 60, although I don't think it would go 60, but,
okay,
and here's the thing. If you're meeting with a seller who, let's just say you have a seller that wants to do this, and they're interested in this, the best thing to do would be to set up an appointment
Yeah.
with the lender, and again, whether it's me or another lender you work with, whatever. Set up that appointment, talk to the client, explain to them what this all entails, get them signed up for counseling. Counseling is, and they have to do counseling. It can either be over the phone or in person with a HUD-approved counselor. And we give them a list of counselors that they can talk to. So that's going to take some time there. Now that that's out of the way, they have 180 days. That counseling certificate will expire in 180 days, 6 months. So now they're ready to go out and start looking. And in the meantime, we're collecting documentation and we're already starting the process on our end so that when they do find that property, we're ready to go.
is that 180 for identifying?
No, it's just, no, it's just 180. Their certificate, home buyer certificate
Yeah.
is only good for 180 days from the time they take it.
Got it.
So yeah, it's not identifying the property. It's not like,
the accommodations
yeah, not
and
like that or
the-
anything.
Okay.
It's just that their home buyer certificate, their
Okay.
counseling certificate is only good for
Got
that.
it, sorry.
So how can my business benefit? Reverse mortgage opens up a new emerging market of baby boomers. And, that particular age group, depending who where you get your data, they're saying anywhere from 10 to 11,000 people a day are turning 62 or 65, in that 62, 3, 4, 5. So, and that's going to go on for a number of years still. So the next biggest generation behind that is the millennial generation. They're the next biggest generation. And that's a whole nother thing with first-time buyers, which I think I talked about. Those people are turning 30, 31, 32, 33. So, but anyway, back to this. Borrowers who couldn't otherwise buy a home may qualify for a reverse. Easy pre-qualification, convenient process. Now, we say easy, it's easy in the sense that it is cumbersome, because nothing is done digital. Everything is done hand signing. You meet with the clients. I mean, it's just, that's just how it is, you know? The fonts are bigger, they do everything. No, I'm serious. They do the package is really thick because, and it's all because the government feels like they're protecting the homeowner. They want to protect the senior community. And so it takes a little bit longer. There's going to be more face-to-face meetings with somebody who's doing the reverse mortgage. Great for clients who are trading up, downsizing, or right-sizing from an existing home. Help your senior clients get more house, more desirable location, more amenities. Expand your professional network of builders, accessibility contractors, financial planners, attorneys. And this is a new touch for your database. Basically what this is saying, if you have clients in your database that are over 62, this is something you could bring to their attention. You know, what can we do for you? You can call or email me with any questions. We can do training on this. We can help pre-qualify the clients, walk you through the process. There are things you can probably ask when you're doing your interview to see if they're even open to this topic of doing a different type of loan. Oh, geez, hold on, that was it. Okay, so any additional questions on this or anything maybe anything maybe I didn't touch on here that you might have had questions on? Yes.
Do you have any digital marketing that we can use how to
I have. I do. I have. I even have, which I didn't bring. I have a booklet that for realtors that they can give to sellers. It's about a 12-page booklet that just kind of explains how the process works. Now, if anybody wants that, I can definitely get that emailed out so you can have that.
Sure.
But I will say with reverse mortgages, there is a little more education involved with the clients because there are a lot of fears for some of the things I said already. You know, do you lose your house? Does the bank own my house? These are all misconceptions that have been put out there and people think. Okay. So with that, I know I went through kind of fast and I just wanted to at least give you guys another option.
Knowing that these could kind of become more popular given the current situation with the boomer generation, if you will, are there only a certain amount that they will give out or is there a limit less?
What do you mean certain amount?
Like anyone can, you know how there's grants or there's only a certain amount,
yes.
certain, the school grants are certain zip codes and
there's tons and tons of loans available for this. There are no danger of running out of any type of money.
Okay.
It's being backed by banks and oh gosh, I just lost my train there. I was gonna say something about that. But no, it's not like that. It's not like that where it runs out of money.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's not anything like that. So if you want a copy of if you want me to send you, my email is john@teamtorrijos.com. You can email me, and I guess in the subject just put reverse material, and I'll send out that information. But hopefully this helps. And we talk about education a lot. I know Kiara's seen it. I do a lot of videos on my Instagram that if you wanted to go to my Instagram, it's @JTLoans. You can just look, and if you're talking to a client, there's a lot of videos on there that you can just, they're like 30-second videos, and maybe just kind of educate your clients on certain things. If they brought up a certain question or a certain topic, there's different things there. And of course, you can always call me with any questions. So, yes.
What's the minimum debt price ratio to do the reverse mortgage?
Did you say debt to income ratio?
Yeah.
There isn't there. So
the minimum everything they have to have.
You're right now, like I said, for somebody that age, you're probably needing about 60% equity.
60% equity.
Yeah, 60 to 65. Where as they get older, that number reduces. So maybe somebody that's 80 might need 50 or 55% equity. But when rates were lower, it was like 45. So yeah.
it's only apply, you can only apply to the house because the owned, you're living in, not.
It has to be a primary.
It's primary house.
Mhm.
Can you just sell their current house and they go for a bigger house so they can use the money they sell?
Yes,
the current
that-
house
that-
to buy the new house and at the same time using the.
Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about here is when you're sitting with a client who wants to sell their current home, so they're gonna sell that, take their funds, however much funds are needed for the next property, they can roll into the next property. Yep, that's it, exactly. Is that it?
What was your Instagram?
Oh, it's at I'm sorry,
Oh,
JT
okay,
Loans.
okay.
So, at letter J, like my initial JT Loans. See, so take a look. Hey,
Following you, I'm
see
following
now
you.
I'm turning red. So thank you guys so much for watching. I know like mortgages are not the most sexy thing. They're pretty boring, but if we can get people to understand, you know, the benefits of whether it's a reverse mortgage or whatever it may be, I mean, that just creates more opportunities for all of us. So, all right, I think that's it. Thanks.
All right, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so John and I will be working together to decide what next topic he'll talk about because John is doing a class for us every month. So if you guys have any ideas of what you want John to talk about, you know, definitely let us know.
I'm open. I can pretty much cover just about anything. I mean, one of the things I was thinking is non-QM loans, your bank statement.
Oh, that'd be great.
Your investment loans that, you know, the non-QM. I mean, we could talk about FHA, VA, conventional all day long. Those are your traditional things, but if you know, we'll talk. If anybody wants to do that, I'll be happy to.
That would be,
I think we just decided we'll do non-QMs next month. Sounds like.
That sounds good. Well, I appreciate the time, everybody. I mean, this is what I love to do, and you know, like before I got sick with that whole thing last year, this is what we were doing before COVID started. So now it's fun to be back to doing this again.
Yeah, well, we love to have you. Absolutely. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming today. Hope this was informational, very helpful, and yeah, we're all here for you. Leadership is here for you guys to help you with your businesses. Whenever you guys have questions, we're here. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a funny story for you.
No, we would love to get you started first Thursday of the month.